What's poppin', everybody? Top of the afternoon. Welcome to another episode of The Measy Show. You got it right. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe and that like button for me before we begin. Okay? So, apparently, our bandman Kevo, the Chicago rapper, he has his affiliation or whatever. He went and took to IG and showed off his new tattoo. And it's Donald Trump, his mugshot tattooed on his leg, and it says "Make America Great Again," right? So, for those that don't know Bandman Kevo, he's like this super rich ex-scammer dude. Now he got hella little businesses and credit situations going on. He's got a whole bunch of OnlyFans, and he's real smart. He's a smart dude. He went to the feds for a little bit for some kind of scamming or something like that, and then ended up basically coming home and put it home. I don't know if he does whatever he does now, but I'm assuming a lot of it's legit, and he got some decent music. It's not like my personal go-to every time, but I like his hustle. I like his grind. He had a couple other tattoos as well. One being Elon Musk, another one being Jeff Bezos, saying that they contributed to his success and stuff like that. Me personally, so let me tell you how I feel about Donald Trump, right? So Donald Trump, right? He before for a long time I didn't like him, right? He's racist, he's a sucker, he's a separatist, he always want to do this, he's a supremacist, he's this, he's an asshole, he want to separate ourselves, he want to give us a bad name with different countries and blah 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 blah, right? That was my position for quite some time about Donald Trump, right? Then we had him in the economy. Don't get me wrong, he's an asshole. Like, I'm not in any way saying he's not an asshole. He's a freaking asshole, right? But he left office. Well, before he leaves office, the economy spikes, right? The economy does way better, bro. Way better. Now, granted, he did try to bring some stupid stuff back into play, like coal and stuff like that. But then again, maybe, West Virginia or whatever, they needed us. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the situation, where renewable energy, now that was done. But everything else is pretty, economy-wise, he made a lot of good, livable, wage-paying jobs. Now, when Obama did, Obama made a lot of jobs, but they're all bullshit jobs. I'll be honest with you. They were all, Starbucks and like dumbass. Like, the jobs weren't sustainable wages, not in America, right? So, anyway, Donald Trump leaves office, right? As soon as Donald Trump leaves office, I get a taste of what it's like without Donald Trump now. So we got Joe, Sleepy Joe, right? And by the way, Joe, you freaking asshole. I had high hopes for you, Sleepy Joe. I had high hopes. I grew up being told, oh, yo, I'm a Democrat. So I'm like, oh, I'm a Democrat. You feel me? Like, as I get older, I identify more as independent, because like every time we have a recession, bro, it's always under Republican rule. It's always under Republican rule. Like, I'm trying to tell you. Democratic rule. I apologize. Republicans always have a good situation for the economy. That's one thing. Like, I feel like Democrats want to imprison the poor people by, oh, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's it. You're saying you want, like, no, you want to imprison that person into poverty. That's not where it's at. So as far as Bandman Kevo getting his, tattoo and all on his leg, would I have done it? Of course not. Hell no, right? But I mean, that's how he feel like. Even if, let's say, Donald Trump racist, we know he's probably a little bit racist for sure. Even if he is, like, it's more of a significance. It's bigger than the president. Because you got to think, Donald Trump, he's had a lot of firsts. He's the only president to get indicted by the feds. He's the only president to have hella affair scandals. Well, Bill Clinton got his dick sucked, but besides that, you know what I'm saying? He's had multiple. You get what I'm saying? He's the only president who has admitted to, like, literally raping women on audio and say, oh, it's your locker room talk. You know what I'm saying? He's the only president that has been to the jail, right? It had a mugshot, got booked in the county jail. He's the only president, like, he's a lot of firsts. So regardless of his significance as like a president, his significance as an influencer is far greater. He doesn't need presidency. For number one, he doesn't need to be president. You know what I'm saying? He's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? He could, but that opened the door for him to do hella other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let me tap in with my boy from Russia, Vladimir Putin. Bam. Okay, cool. Trump Towers, Russia, Moscow, not a huge deal. Something I do. Right? Bam. You know what I'm saying? Everything he does, there's a power play to it. He's not like, and I feel like, and yeah, there was some hypocrisies in his thing, you know, like, when he had the Trump ties and shirts and all that, the Trump collection or something like that, which ended up like in TJ Maxx, but, and thrift stores. But back when he had that, right, like that was made in China, but then he doesn't want anything to be made in China. You get what I'm saying? So, but then a lot of people say, well, that's as a businessman. As a businessman, he has business. And as a president, he's thinking country first. Businessman, you're thinking business first. So I get that part a little bit. But the fact that man Kevo tattooed this man's face and his slogan on his leg, I don't even really ridicule him for it. Although, me, would I ever do it? Hell no. My mom would spit in my face. She would probably disown me. She would never probably speak with me ever again. But she, like, oh my God. When he got elected, I seriously think she was, like, contemplating, like, doing a mass shooting. No, I'm just joking. If there's anybody listening, like, to take that serious, that was a joke. But I feel like she is very much so against Trump. And I'm against some of his shenanigans. I'm against the majority of his shenanigans. But let's look at, like, it's one thing to, you know what I'm saying, the repertoire, the persona, but let's look at policy, right? He wants the economy to be great. He doesn't want kids to be taught about homosexual relationships and sex ed in the 5th grade. He wants to create industry for poor states in the United States. You know what I'm saying? He wants to acquire more land for the United States, right? All these are big things, big things for Americans to consider and say, you know what? Like, you might be an asshole, but you might be onto something at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So, look at it like this. What's homie's name? Kevin Gates, right? Kevin Gates, he got NBA YoungBoy name face tattooed on him. I think I want to say it's his leg or something like that too. So, and they not even cool. You feel me? So it's like, for you to get, like, obviously it shouldn't be that big of a, like, if that's what that man wants to do, let him do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's more, I feel like it's more significant. So let's talk about Joe. So he went to Instagram basically and posted a picture of his tattoo. Says "Make America Great Again." Got Donald Trump's mugshot. Then he posted a picture, a post on Instagram saying "Make America Great Again" or Sleepy Joe. Right? I like. So let's be honest, bro. We all, as free-thinking Americans, we all feel like we want our freedoms, we want our liberties, we want everything that makes us American, right? But, and for everybody who grew up Democrat or have democratic ideals and stuff like that, let's just think about it, right? The thought of Biden coming in was smooth. I've had high hopes, right? But what has he done for us? Just tell me, like, what has he done? What has he done? What has he done? Like, I can't think of anything that he's done. He swore up and down, bro. Oh, I love the black community. They've always had my back, and I'll always have their. Well, give some reparations then, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even giving out. You ain't giving out shit. I seen not to get too sidetracked, but I seen a video with Charlemagne. Maybe I'll do a video about that separate. But I seen a video where Charlemagne was on one of the shows talking about reparations with the dude. And Charlemagne was saying, like, yeah, we should definitely get reparations. He said, well, it's not it's what am I going to write a check to a ghost? He said, bro, a debt is a debt, regardless of that person. So look, check this out. This is all to anybody who like considers that stuff, right? This is the argument. This is my personal argument why I feel that it should happen. Okay, number one. If your dad dies, you inherit his money if you are indeed the next of kin, or your mother, your whatever. So if you have a great grandfather and no one down the line below him inherited what he should have got, right? Then you are due the inheritance. So the reparations is just really inheritance. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's something that they could give that would be substantial. You get what I'm saying? That would be substantial. Or even what would be a good thing is to just basically create, because I could give you a fish today, you're going to want to fish tomorrow. I give you a fishing pole, you set for life. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people, people in the black community say, oh, well, if we did have reparations, it wouldn't do nothing but make Cadillac, Lincoln, Mercedes-Benz the biggest paid dealership, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's just say you give every black adult, right? Every black adult 18 and up that can trace his ancestry to a slave. Let's say you give every black adult a share in a business, an actual business, right? And let them run it. Although I think you should just give them money. Not you, but America as a whole, they absolutely allowed them to be exploited. So for Joe to be so for the black community, he ain't said once nothing about reparations. Or you just gave him a little shout out, like, you know what I'm saying? Look, you ain't gotta shout me out. Just throw me a check. You feel me? Like, what he say? Don't check for me. I forget who said it. Last year, one of them, he said, don't check for me unless you got a check. No, Filthy Rich said it. He said, don't check for me unless you got a check for me. Bismillah. But anyway, point being is that what did Joe do? What did Joe do? He spoke. That's part of the reason why I liked him. Kind of like in the first place, he was really shouting out the black community and made it seem like there was going to be a lot of changes that were going to happen on his watch for the black community. He ain't this shit. What'd he do? You know what I'm saying? And then you got Kamala, fucking little bitch. She's just a little prosecutor. You know what I'm saying? She didn't put, and then I put this many people in jail. Yeah, bro, how many people you sent instead didn't do shit? You feel me? I guarantee there's some. We know how prosecutors get down. It's a numbers game. They want to be on their electoral position. They want to be able to say, under my election, I sentenced people to 2,586 years, according to, everybody. So we already know. So really, like, Trump, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I'm just being honest, he did a lot more than Biden. He did a lot more. Trump did more than that 4 years than Biden could do in 12. I promise you. For one, he's surprised he's even alive, bro. Honestly, I don't know how he's just sleeping on the freaking podium. Like, yeah. Anyway, whatever the situation, man. Let me know what you think, man. Would you have done the tattoo that man Kevo did, or would you not? Let me know in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Salute. Have a good afternoon. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe.